you got to have hope in what you're doing. You got to believe in yourself. And if you give up on the first sign of failure, like, you're not going to make it that far. I love the quote, if people aren't laughing at your dreams, then your dreams aren't big enough, right? So you got to be the biggest believer in yourself. Like, people aren't going to do it for you. They're not going to have the hope in the future that you want. Hope fuels ambition. The biggest achievements in history were once considered impossible until someone refused to believe otherwise. If your goals don't scare you, they probably aren't pushing you hard enough. It's like the 4-minute mile thing. Nobody ran faster than the 4-minute mile. And the second that somebody did, there was a bunch of people that did. Like, we don't believe that things are possible until we see somebody else do it. And it just takes that one individual to put in the work, take that next step, and do what they think that they're able to, right? It's just belief in yourself.
Yeah, my mind goes a couple places. I think what you said, like, we have to be a little crazy, a little delusional. I think that's what successful people have. They were delusional starting out about what they could achieve, and maybe other people doubting that or not believing it's possible. But I think that's what keeps you going. You have to have a little bit of delusion to keep you going through it. Otherwise, it's hard to start at all on that mission if you don't think you can do it in the first place. I think of also just positivity. I feel like I'm a pretty positive person just because I hate negativity, dog. I hate talking about or just like voicing things that, whether it's a negative aspect of the day or talking about other people or what you're frustrated with. I think that just takes your mind to a dark place when it's always negativity. I think you just gotta, I think there's a John Gordon thing, but feed the positive wolf rather than the negative one. And like mental health, obviously a lot of different factors, but I think that big piece of that is just from people thinking negatively all the time. So just having more positivity, whether that's about accomplishing a goal, but also just the day in, day out, not looking at the negative things, but just practicing more gratitude, being grateful for whether it's a job or exercise, all these different things. It's not a have to, it's a get to. I think having that perspective, I think, helps a lot because a lot of us are very blessed and very fortunate compared to a lot of other people and a lot of other eras of time. Yeah, I think we always have a grass is greener mindset or what's next mindset, but just having positivity in what we currently have and currently get to do and not have to do, I think that perspective shift is a big deal. So just practicing positivity, whatever that looks like, practicing gratitude, praying about it, journaling about it, whatever you're grateful for, focusing on those things instead of the negative, not focusing on what could go wrong or what I don't like, but what could go right if I stay committed to this and have a good outlook. So, or my mind goes.
And it's contagious, right? Negative energy is contagious. Positive energy is contagious, right? It's who you surround yourself with. If you have gritty people striving for a bunch of things that people might think are crazy, like, you're probably more likely to do the same. But if you're around a bunch of negative Nellies and Debbie Downers and they're just saying, why me? I think there's definitely a contagious nature to that. So I think it's important who you surround yourself with, and even just your own thoughts, right? It can be contagious to yourself. Like, you consistently have a negative outlook, you're just going to keep going down. Like, momentum's a real thing with a lot of different things. I feel like the more you think positively, you get in the habit of that, and it's just something that becomes a habit. And I think you can go down and spiral down the other way, and it just gets harder and harder to get out of that hole. But yeah, it's crazy how contagious that can be, and you don't really realize like how impactful positive energy is until you've been around someone that really just gives you that type of energy, right? Dan Jackson, SDSU new head football coach, is one of those guys, like, just pours into you and gives you so much energy, and you leave the conversation like feeling like he made an impact, and like you have more energy after you left, right? Like, those are the people you want to stick around, and that's the type of energy you want to foster onto other people. So I think it's just really cool when you come across it and can see it the other way around. Like, you don't want to be around those people because they just kind of drain you. Like, it's almost upsetting, but it's hard.
For sure.
Interesting.
I think too about the dreaming big. I think just to keep bringing back the faith piece into it, I think we think too short sometimes when we serve a God who can do the impossible. So I think we set a limit on that sometimes in our prayers and ambitions. I think we think too small of what we can do, but also what he can do through us. So I think there's power that comes in thinking big and praying big and asking for crazy things or believing those crazy things can happen, because they can. I've seen it in my own life and the lives of other people, and there's all those powerful testimonies. And I think it's just having an unwavering belief that seemingly impossible things can happen. So I think there's a lot of hope that comes from just having faith. So just dreaming big and having your hope come through that.